Good evening and welcome to This Is How It Works. I'm your host, Sebastian Payne, and let me begin with the subject. I've had a number of responses from my last telecast, which were great. I want to thank everybody for actually writing in and telling me what they think about the last telecast that we actually had, and it was all on the word inherent. I'm going to actually give you the definition and the thesaurus meaning on the word inherent and how it relates to you and your conscious relationship to it. And we're going to start, and I'm going to read this. This is the definition out of the Webster's Dictionary, and it says, belonging to the basic nature of someone or something. And the full definition states, involved in the constitution or essential character of something, belonging to by nature or habit. Intrinsic, it means an inherent virtue. Some of the definitions that are giving here, it says it has an inherent sense of fair play, or it says an inherent concept of justice. The thesaurus definition on the word inherent, it says being a part of the most inner part nature of a person or thing. And the synonyms, and this is where my part of it comes in. When I say the inherent nature of the universe, it has to do with being built in, constitutional, essential, being hardwired, inborn, inbred. It means something that's going to be natural. So when you hear me say the inherent nature, just use the word built in. On your spare time, look this word up, because I want you to know, like I said before, and how this word relates to you and your conscious relationship to it is going to be very, very important. Of knowing exactly what the word inherent mean, because when you're dealing with the universe, you're going to hear me say the inherent nature, and that inherent nature is something that's going to be built in. When I say or use the word gravity is an inherent nature of the universe. That means that the word gravity is something that's built in. You can't change it. You have to learn to work with that law. In order for an airplane to take flight, it is something called the law of lift. And by applying the law of lift, it does not change gravity, but it shows you how to work and manipulate gravity in order to fly. Just like I would ask you the question, can metal float? Well, some people would say no, but then again, you have ton ships that are tons in weight, but it actually floats on top of water. But if you don't work with the inherent law, which means the law that is built in and learning how to manipulate it, iron will also sink in water. Just like the inherent nature of God, and not knowing how to work within the law, which one of the quotes I said the last time, nature unaided fails. And when I say nature unaided fails, you have to aid nature in order to manipulate it, in order to do exactly what it will do, but for your benefit. Nature unaided fails. You have to aid nature by people aiding nature, which is gravity. By aiding gravity, they learned how to fly on air. You have to actually work with the inherent nature. So the word inherent just means something that is built in. One of the things that I also stated in my last telecast was that Mark 11:24, which states, whatsoever you desire when you pray, believe that you received it and you'll also have it. Well, this is a law. This is a universal law. And you have to learn how to work within that law in order to get the desired results. If someone wanted to actually fly in the air, they would have to overcome gravity or work with gravity in order to actually fly. Well, the same thing applies to a spiritual law. You have to actually know how to work within the concept of that law in order to make it work for you. The law states, it says, whatsoever you desire. Well, say for instance, you desire an automobile. That's your desire. It says whatsoever you desire when you pray. The word prayer is a supplication. You look the word up. To supplicate means asking for. So it really states whatsoever you desire when you ask. Well, most people have to understand that a vision is also a prayer. And that's one of the things that I stated the last time. If a person could not speak, well, that means that all of their desires or all of their whatsoevers would not be fulfilled. No, you have a vision. You have a vision, not your mind, but this is going to be your beliefs. These are the things that you have to understand. And by having this vision, going back to Mark 11:24, whatsoever things you desire, that thing that you desire, you have to understand that that vision is your desire. So it says whatsoever you desire when you pray, that's your supplication. Believe that you receive it. Well, if you go to the vision that you have of this thing, this desire, or what I call, and I state them all the time, everything that I ask for or I desire is called a whatsoever. So if I'm desiring a car or automobile, it's a whatsoever. I break it down. In math, it's called the least common denominator. People will call them a house. They'll call them, shelter. They'll call a house a shelter. I call everything a whatsoever. So because I reduce it down to my least common denominator. So when you get to that whatsoever you desire, believe that you receive it. Well, how do you believe that you receive it? If you understand the way the mind works, it works in pictures. And in that picture, you're visualizing yourself. So that means that you're still in line with what the scripture says. And it says, whatsoever you desire when you pray, believe that you receive it. That's how you believe that you receive it. In that vision, by you sitting in a comfortable position and relax and sit back, close your eyes, and visualize yourself having this thing. That's how you believe that you receive it. And the latter part says, and you will have it. You have to remember, nature unaided or prayer unaided, it will actually fail. So you have to actually, most people, they talk about not being able to get the desires of their heart. It's because you have to remember, something that is inherent is not going to change. That scripture is never going to change. You're going to have to follow it. And it says the letter alone kill it, but it's the spirit that gives life. So what does it mean by the spirit? Well, the spirit part of it, it comes back to what it says, that whatsoever you desire when you receive it, believe that you received it. So how do you believe that you received it? Go into your vision and see yourself actually having it. That's your part. That's something that you're going to have to do. And you're going to have to hold on to it, because the scripture is not going to change. It is not going to change. These are the things that you're going to have to do. You're going to have to believe that you receive it. And from that point going forward, you're going to have to know that it is yours. You're going to have to actually, what it calls, getting into the spirit of it. From that point on, it's yours. You don't have it physically, but you have it spiritually. Act as though if you have received, and you shall. And that's the part that you have to know. So the word inherent, going back to what I said, the inherent nature, the word inherent means something that's built in, something that's permanent. So when I say the laws of the universe they are permanent and they are built in, I'm just using the word inherent in its place. I hope that gives you some actual clarity on the word inherent, look that word up, study that word. That word is going to be very, very monumental in doing anything, or either following the podcasts that I have. Is because you really have to understand these words, and I'm going to actually make them easy for you to actually follow along. So the word inherent from this point going on means something that's built in. So when I say the word expansion and fuller expression in this universe is inherent. That means you will put here to expansion, and to fully express yourself. That means going from where you are to where you want to be. It's built in. These things are built in. And these are the things that you have to know. Continue to write in to me on the telecast and tell me exactly what you think. This has been an increasing moment for all of us. Thank you so much for listening, and always remember to stay on frequency.